it.
Hello and welcome to Everton and to follow live Everton. We've got our producer and director over in Australia, and we've got Wez, who doesn't have to fly around the world today to watch the game on his. People say he's got a dodgy stick, but he haven't. He subscribes £120 a month to Sky. Welcome everyone. Welcome to our viewers. Hi Chris. Hi Wez.
All right, Rob.
Hello.
Nice to see you back, mate.
And you
Lovely
know what?
to
We
be
also
back.
Robster, you have a special guest in your backdrop.
Yeah, the wife, she wanted to be on the stream today. She said, I feel left out, so and she's a red, so I said, right, you've got to dress up in a blue top today. So she's she's looking over me.
Fair play to Carol.
Getting in the spirit of Halloween, everyone.
Nice one, Carol, for showing up.
So if we're expecting a shock result, does that mean that Everton subvert recent expectations and have a win today, guys?
I don't think so. I think that, like I've just said, I think with them playing, midweek in Europe, that fitness is going to come into account. And I think the last two teams that we've played, who played in Europe before, we got beaten at Derby, but they struggled second half. And obviously Crystal Palace, their energy seems to drop off second half as well. So I think that these are here for the taking today.
Yeah. So just to throw a bit of context in, we were all chatting just before we pressed the live button here on our panel of three on what we've been, what are we thinking about Tottenham, and that a lot of these teams that are kind of, or that we were expecting maybe more consistency from the likes of Spurs. And as you mentioned, Wes, that Spurs and Crystal Palace and some others that have been in Europe maybe don't have the squad depth to consistently play in Europe and in the Premier League and get those results out. And we kind of think we've been seeing that potentially with Spurs.
100%. Do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, Spurs, they've always been a team in the back of my mind because it was my first game in 1970. And that was a season, my first season of being introduced to Everton Football Club. We actually won the league that year on 66 points. And Spurs were an amazing team at the time. But on that particular day, I was kind of hooked because I was lucky enough to watch the ball Kendall and Harvey. And it was a 0-0 draw. Unfortunately, I should have walked away then, shouldn't I? And I wouldn't have had as much pain being an Evertonian. But it was just, the atmosphere was electric, and just watching, I was lucky enough to see those three midfield, and Joe Royle was up front. All those old names, Alan Whittle, Jimmy Husband, John Hurst, Brian LeBone, Tommy Wright, they were all there on the day, and now it's kind of it was just being a part of that history. The following season, boys, we won the league that year. My first season, get in. And the following year, we finished 14th.
Robbie, you're not meant to sap the future of Everton by being a fan, but you know what? We all feel like it. You watch and you say you're bad luck, but you don't watch and you still have bad luck. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Can we have the team news up, Chris?
Yeah, let's do that.
Teams.
The Timu team news.
Right.
Any shops in there?
Like I said before, before we came on live, I thought that we should be dropping. I think Alcaraz has done enough to earn a starting place, and I think we should have been dropping Jimmy Garner there and putting Alcaraz in to be a bit more attacking. But then obviously that throws a lot of expectation on Garner Gay. Then you know what I mean, as the only defensive midfielder.
Well, we're the old pundits sitting at home, aren't we, saying he should have done this and he could have done that and whatever, and that's what we do, innit? Everyone's got their opinions. Alcaraz, as much as I like him, He's clearly hungry, isn't he? But there's a few other changes there, mate. We all want to get behind Beto, don't we? But boys, he's got to prove his worth today, hasn't he? After what he did last year, what a transformation! He seems to have gone massively downhill. What's all that about? Is that the supply chain to him, or is it his confidence, or is it he's not good enough?
Well, he scored last season, which means in some way or another, he has the ability to manufacture goals when potentially he's not the ideal Moy striker. So if he can produce with less delivery than he is this season, you'd have to think it's a confidence thing, at least to me.
Yeah. What's your thoughts, Wes, on Beto?
I think that because you've got that that sort of understanding between Dewsbury Hall and Grealish, there's a lot of interplay between them two, and Beto's kind of like I think if you'd have had a Grealish playing as where Dewsbury Hall plays, he'd have probably been able to thread balls through to Beto to run onto. But because of most of the interplays between them two, it's like Beto kind of gets left isolated, if you know what I mean. We literally need to put more balls through the middle to him so we can run onto them. He's no good. We know he's no good at holding up the ball. He needs balls to run onto.
Yeah, it almost seems like we have 5 players that sit on the left-hand side of the 18-yard box. You'll have Mikolenko occasionally running on. You've got Grealish there. James Garner looking for a strike from sort of that left central midfield position. And maybe it's also just a matter of, and Iliman Njai has been, for a while there, was really good at sitting on the back post, but maybe it's just a matter of shaking things up. And you know what happens? The second you need Grealish out of the lineup, and we basically needed to get we need to bring in Jai out on the left and it basically shook us a little bit. Maybe it's just an opportunity now for us to say, all right, we've tried a few different things. We know what Grealish can do. Mikolenko is maybe back in full fitness after what's it been, a month back in the squad now.
Yeah.
So
But
maybe
it doesn't offer nothing, no, Chris. Doesn't offer anything.
no. I'm
Mikolenko.
Yeah, no, we know he hasn't been a consistent generator in that side. I think he's further advanced. He's slightly better with crosses, but it's still not consistent enough and good enough to say Beto will be able to time his runs and be in the right position and win. But you feel like at some point Beto just needs to one goes in the net, and I think things change for him.
Yeah, 100%. I think he just needs, the man. It looks like now the man just sort of put all his hopes on starting him as his main striker. Where that leaves Tieno Barry, who knows?
I was reading some podcasts about Barry this week, and it was some VIP Everton players from years gone by, and they were talking about Barry being the project. They bought him as like a project for like the future, but with only having Beto up front, I can't see where the project's coming in there because we don't have the time for that, do we? We didn't buy him to play him in the under-21s, did we?
No, but we've been heavily linked. I don't know what the followers think, but we've been heavily linked lately with Ivan Toney.
What's your thoughts on One Blues?
Well, I think it'd be great. I think he could be the striker that we've been needing. He's desperate to get in that World Cup squad. So, and he's obviously knows Jack Grealish and Jordan Pickford. So, if Jack Grealish gets in his ear and says, "What do you fancy it?" or Jordan Pickford gets in his ear and goes, "Do you fancy it?" But he knows he's going to have to take a drop in pay if he comes. So that's the thing, isn't it? Whether he's prepared to take a drop in pay so that he can possibly get in the World Cup squad.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of players and he's in Saudi, right? So a lot of these players, they go to Saudi for the money, but maybe not for the competitive nature and the respectability to get yourself back into the national teams. We see Jordan Henderson came back. We've seen a few go there and try and take a pay cut to get back into the Premier League. Maybe that would be another inroad.
I mean, he'd walk in the team. You're right, Wes, he'd walk in the team tomorrow. He's got that strut about him, and he can score goals. He takes the penalties. He ticks all the boxes. You're right. We've got more of a chance now with Pickford and Grealish playing there. See, we're on the global stage today. I can't remember the last time we had a 4:30 kickoff. So you've got all these people around the world that clearly probably know who Tottenham are. And some of them will probably go, who's that team in blue? I don't think I've ever heard of them.
But is that Chelsea? That doesn't look like Stamford Bridge. And you're like, no.
They've got to go out today and smash them and make a statement globally, haven't they? As opposed to being shit again in the first half and not coming out the traps. That's what's concerning me about Everton at the moment.
Yeah. They seem to only play 45 minutes, don't they?
Bizarre. Since the start of the season at Leeds.
Yeah. Well, they didn't even play 45 minutes. So like Leeds played about 10.
You know, like you see these teams,
hard work in the warm up.
You see these teams, don't you, taking on like your top teams in the Premier League, and they get a result. And they get a result because they have a go. Because they've got nothing to lose. Your Bournemouths, your Brentfords, Sunderland. There's a perfect example. Now, they might end up getting relegated next season, but they've come up and gone, right, we're not taking no messing here. We're going to have a go, and we're going to be at you for 90 minutes. We're going to kick you. We're going to foul you. We're going to take the yellow cards. We'll take the red cards. Bang, but we'll score goals as well. I just don't see us being ruthless. I just see us being like going through the motions and just being nice.
We used to be, innit? We used to be. We're not anymore. But I think you're doing it. I think, to be fair, Rob, and I don't often disagree with you, but I think you're doing Sunderland a bit of a disservice there, because they play some nice football.
Yeah.
And they are where they are because they've
made
some good signings.
Made up.
Got a striker there. What's his name? It's a four or whatever. Like,
never even heard of him.
Who's ever heard of him?
Exactly.
He scored him for fun.
Yeah. So, well done. Made up. Absolutely made up, seeing them teams up there.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that we know that they did at Sunderland is they put a lot of, I know it's a Spurs Everton thing, but they put a lot of money forward to invest in their team. And you realize over recent seasons, Forest had to do this too. There's a huge financial risk to try and get yourself up to Premier League standards. For the time being, credit to Sunderland, it has worked for them. They had to bring in quite a few players and they've spent the dough. We've spent some, but we've been kind of on the edges. And one of the problems that we know we have right now with Jared Branthwaite being out for an extended period with the hamstring injury is we have a squad depth and defensive frailties. And one thing that I was curious to see was, did we move Jake O'Brien to the middle, pull James Garner to right back, and Merlin roll now that he had gotten a few minutes under his belt against Man City, to see him in the middle? If things don't work out at halftime, I could see that happening. But I think maybe it's time we switch and look at how Everton will face against a Tottenham lineup, because we have a relatively unchanged for them. But the main thing that we're kind of curious about is who's going to face up against us on right back. So Odebear, I think, was with, I'm forgetting who he was with the previous season, but he's been their left winger for a bit, and then Brendan Johnson's back in.
That Burnley, wasn't he?
But so that was a couple of years ago. He was with Burnley. That's what it was. So he's kind of been their left winger, but they've been trying to figure out consistently who should be on their left wing, because they have a well-established defense typically, where they'll have Pedro Porro on the right. They have Mickey van de Ven, who's the pacey centre half that doesn't have a hamstring injury right now, so he's on form with them. And then they have, is it JD or Jed Spence on the left? So Jed Spence will probably be pairing with Brendan Johnson. So it's going to be, how do we take on that side? Because we knew very obviously that Jeremy Doku was going to be a lot of trouble for us to to handle a pacey winger that will run right at Jake O'Brien for the better part of 90 minutes. It's a different kind of matchup on that side though today, right?
Yeah, but there's a lot of creative talent in that team, but defensively wise, they've got a couple of good centre halves. Is Romero's not there, is he? Is that
I think he
Danso
must be
instead,
injured.
or Paulinia? Maybe he's playing centre half. I don't know.
I think it's Dunzo.
Danzo
Number
playing
4 there.
centre half. So the defense is, the defense is there to we can put them under pressure, but are they good enough to turn around and be able to defend as a unit when you've got so much attacking talent in the team?
Yeah. And the interesting thing for Spurs potentially is you think could be Kolo Muani. Those in the chat may have more insight into him, but you think of for Spurs at the moment, you would say, well, Richarlison has, like many strikers do, they go back to previous teams and haunt them. And he was in fine form, I think, when he scored at Goodison last season. Didn't do a celebration or anything. And then you have, the old Bournemouth Dominic Solanke has been not able to work his way back in either through injury or what have you. His form hasn't been great with them. So they don't always have a number 9 that's been reliable and consistent. Hence this conversation of maybe Tony comes in or whatever. So they're struggling to get like dominance on that, like through the number 9. But at the same time, I actually think the player that did affect us, he wasn't with Spurs at the time, but Mohamed Kudus, when he was at West Ham, gave us all sorts of problems. So I'm curious to see how he does against us with a pretty savvy manager, knowing how to maybe break us down on that side with Mikalenko. I'm quite worried on what Mohamed Kudus could do to us today.
Yeah,
he should have been playing for the Blues, shouldn't he? We almost had him, didn't we?
Before he went to West Ham, yeah. I think
Yeah.
they get them
before the World Cup, and he looked
instead of
profiled.
Didn't he get him instead of what's his name? Is that Villa now? He's on the bloody telly now.
Are you saying
Onana.
Everton nearly? Oh, Onana, yeah. Well, I mean, very different players. I don't think you'd have Onana at right wing, but yeah, I think it was reallocating the funds when that didn't work out.
Because I think it was because he was at Ajax, weren't he? And I think Erik ten Hag was the manager at the time, and they'd already let a load of players go, and said that he wasn't prepared to let any more players go. So that's why the deal fell through for Kudus.
Yeah, and
Rob looks like a wizard.
we talk about the players we missed out on, but like you'd also think at that time, what was it, Damari Gray and maybe Danjuma were the wingers, and how would Sean Dyche have actually handled Kudus? Would it have worked out? I'm sure Mr. Sean will get brought up at some point because of his being brought back up, and we're going to play them twice in December. But yeah, I really, it's a shame we didn't get the likes of Kudus. We were looking in the right direction and couldn't get it over the line.
Yeah, that's Everton.
The thing is, realistically,
but we got Jackson.
Who'd want to come and play for Everton under Sean Dyche? When you're a creative player, an attacking player, you would not come near Everton in a million years while Sean Dyche is manager.
Yeah, well, what's fun, and as we kind of know, the likes of Dwight McNeil seems to have a resurgence under him. So some players seem to get confidence with a manager that they know, but it's a very limited pool. And right now, you'd say, okay, maybe that's what the likes of Dwight needs is a shakeup. But then again, you would say, as you're saying, what creative player that wants to make a brand for themselves in the Premier League would truly come to Everton at that point? You'd say, well, no, not really. And I think Moyes, we know, has more creative flair than that. They may still at times feel a little stunted, in particular for the number 9s, but typically the wingers and fullbacks have had opportunities. You think of back in the day, Jared De La Feu, and Kevin Morales and some of these that came in, that he does give opportunities for wingers. So just wrong timing, I guess.
So we got a Tottenham fan on the show at the moment.
Nice to
He's
see you,
saying that
Trev.
he's
Nice to
saying
see
that
you.
3-1 to Everton, and that his team is average at best. I like Thomas Frank. I think Thomas Frank is a great manager. I think like I keep saying it about Postecoglou. People keep making the excuses because he had the back four out and all like that, this, that, and the other. But it's proven it at Forest, Postecoglou, the way he plays is all about going forward and attacking. There's not much defending in it. Yeah, he had his whole of his back four out injured, but it's still not acceptable as a Spurs fan, I would say, to finish 17th in the league, right? That's your bread and butter. Yeah, okay, he won the Europa League and got in the Champions League more through luck than skill, because he played a terrible Man United team in the final. But like I say, I think Tottenham are a different animal this season. I think they're a much better team, more solid. Obviously, that goes because they've got the defenders back, but they look much better going forward. They look as good going forward as what they do defensively.
Yeah. And to be Thomas Frank about it, I haven't watched enough of them to have a full-fledged opinion, but they did actually build up from the back and were quite progressive. And on the match I did watch this season, I think they beat someone in the typical top four. I don't know if it was like Chelsea or City, but Spurs looked quite good on that match where they built up from the back. But Frank has the ability to adapt to either be a bit more ticky-taka or occasionally be more direct. So I think it will be interesting throughout the season and maybe even today. And to Gaspipe's point, do we think Thomas Frank will be found out? Is it the matter of, well, Brentford are just a well-run club and it's a manager, or is it Spurs is a poison chalice of nearly in the Champions League spot but can't hold it, and it's an organizational issue? We'll find out over the year with Thomas Frank, but I think he's a good manager. I've never thought otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, he's to sort of mix it with the big boys for a good few years with Brentford, with relative team of unknowns. He's done very well, and now he's got a team of like quality players. I think with him getting found out, a certain manager not far from us is getting found out. I think. You know what I mean? Isn't he?
I saw a fake Romano coming along that was saying that he was sacked, and I thought that was quite entertaining, but I clearly not the case. So on the bottom there, we've got the kind of scroll for the referee and everyone today. The main one that sticks out, Craig Pawson, for quite a while has been incredibly frustrating. But I will say, in recent matches, he hasn't stood out as being terrible. Maybe it's just a blip on the radar in a positive direction, but you fear the worst with him, and at any moment it feels like it's going to go off the rails. So I wonder if that's another concern for us today.
Like Craig Pawson is a thorn in our side. He absolutely hates Everton with a passion. Like I can't even remember the amount of bad decisions he's give against us. Do you know what I mean? And you just think, why is he ever even allowed to referee another Everton game?
Yeah, it was him and the now disrespected, or what was it, Darren Coots or whatever his name was another one that couldn't stand Darren. Yeah, so there's a few referees that seem to just not like the Liverpool-based Everton, but yeah, but it's like you wonder at some point, can we just not have them anymore? Is that allowed? Can you put up your hand, or do we start sounding too much like Nottingham Forest when they complain about bias that we just don't want that in the league to have said?
He was the VAR at the time, wasn't he? Wasn't he the VAR at the time? Stuart Atwell.
Yeah, was Stuart Atwell, and he's going to be there today.
Yeah.
But
you
Luton
talk
can't
about it though, boys. Everton, we've not been no great shakes this season. We've had a few decent results, but Tottenham are only 3 points ahead of us, So if we were to beat them today and get the 3 points, we'll level on points with them. They're currently 7th, we're 12th, 13th. So we do need a point. Nah, I'm not going for a point today. I don't think it's good enough. I think we're nearer to the bottom than we are to, well, we're as near to the bottom as we are to the top.
Yep.
Or the top
we're
5.
On 11. So we're on 11 points. If we win today, then we get to 14 points and jump into 10th.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
I think you're right, Emmett.
Our downfall is going to be not scoring enough goals, because we need to have a plus goal difference. Simple as that. To sort of stay in the upper echelons of the league. It's all right picking up 3 points, but we all know the goal difference could be an extra point.
Yeah, we've scored 9, and we've let in 9, so we're currently minus. We're 0. Tottenham have scored 14, and they've had let 7 in, so they're plus 7.
Yeah, the Forest have just been beat as well,
and Villa beat City.
Is that finished now? Is it?
Looks like it.
Well, I'll
talk through some of the results.
Burnley just scored.
Yeah, Burnley are now up 3-2 away at Wolves.
Against Wolves. Wolves are in desperate trouble, aren't they?
And they beat us, though, did they?
Wolves, well, in the cup,
yeah.
In the cup.
Okay. Depends on which one matters, Robbie. I'd rather beat them in the league than the cup, but
yeah,
yes,
absolutely,
both.
Absolutely. But we shouldn't have lost in the cup, neither.
No, but that was down to Moyes putting the team that he put out.
Yeah,
that was a shocking team.
It was Seamus Coleman was at left back, wasn't he?
Yeah, Seamus Coleman at left back. Yeah. Well, so what do you think today? What do you think the score is going to be today?
Go on, Chris.
I think 2-2.
2-2.
2-2. Is that
Desmond? We're going to score 2 goals.
Yep. Yeah, I know, and that'll be the thing. We're up 2-2. Oh, sorry, we scored 2 goals and still find a way to let it slip away. People want me to be more positive. I just haven't felt the positivity for a little while. Oh, that is positivity.
Guy's getting sacked in the morning. Listen, if things don't go his way,
I hope he does well. He's a decent fella. His football might be the best. I'm going for the reverse psychology again, Wes, because it seems to work. Everton's first game against Tottenham Hotspur was 1904, and the score was Everton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2. So I'm going for the reverse psychology today, hoping.
Okay.
Hoping, yeah, you know where I'm coming from.
It didn't work last week, so stop all this reverse psychology bollocks.
No, it worked against. It didn't work last week because there was shite. It worked against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Palace.
Well, I suppose we could say we haven't. Oh, do I dare say it? We haven't lost in the league at home
Since 1904.
Since 1904, we never lose. We just forget all the losses, but that's why I'm predicting a draw. I don't think Everton are in consistent enough form, but it's at home. We can definitely manufacture things. And look, we scored late against Crystal Palace and were completely dominated until maybe the 65th minute, and things just progressively got better for us. So we have the home field advantage is certainly on our side in this new stadium, and it's really exciting to see. So maybe that'll be
an interesting one.
for us today.
That's an interesting comment.
Yeah. So maybe going back to what you said earlier, Chris, is that, maybe take Jake O'Brien out at that position and put Jimmy Garner in there, and then you can slot them at like Merlin Roll or Alcaraz into the midfield. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be adverse to taking Jake O'Brien at right back, because, like I said, neither of our fullbacks offer a great amount of like forward impetus. I mean, there's no underlapping. And, like they get forward maybe once or twice a game. Like once Michalenko goes forward, he forgets what he's got to do with it. It's like, oh, I'm too far forward. I've got to pass it back.
Gets dizzy.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, what do we do now? And like on the odd occasion, he'll put a ball into the box. Well, that's what you're meant to be doing, son.
Mm-hmm.
That comment there, Chris, by Neil Michaels 8925. If you can just put that one up, because I just like to comment on that one.
This one?
Yeah. Now.
Or this one?
The one about the Bournemouth lad. Yeah, I mean, there you go. There's 19-year-old Bournemouth, a flying high, playing cracking football. Now we've just bought a 19-year-old, haven't we, for 27 million? But some people are saying he's not ready. It's just that, it just kind of makes me cringe a little bit when you want to, when you want it, you want that dynamic, and it just doesn't seem to work for us.
Yeah. Oh, and that I think I'm going to sound like a broken record here. Like there've been phases where strikers just hit that purple patch, but I don't think outside of Element and Jai, I don't think we've seen any form of purple patch from anyone on a goal scoring front. Jack, we love the goal against Palace, but it was a pressurized block of a clearance that got the goal. We haven't had consistent goal scoring form from almost anyone in the squad other than Element and Jai, who's now on penalties for us.
Yeah. I think Mark's got a point there.
Great point, Mark. Yeah.
Yep. And look, he brought in young centre halves who almost went immediately to Real Madrid too.
The thing is now is that we haven't got the patience to be able to put Tierno Barry in and give him a run of games. So he's gone back to who got him goals last season, Beto. And beyond that, we've got nothing. So, even though Chimiti's getting a load of grief up in Scotland, now if you can't score goals in Scotland, then there's an issue. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, have you heard about our other striker that from a one Olympique Marseille? That he's basically so far out of the squad now that he's not even involved in team meetings and has his own separate training where he's doing laps around the field, not even talking with the squad. So clearly we know how to pick him. Neil Mopé. So even the likes of Mopé is doing so poorly after he left.
When you're having a bad day, just have a look at Neil Mopé.
Don't have a look at his bank account, though, will you?
I don't give a shit.
Well, that almost rhymes, Wes. When you have a bad day, think of Mopé and just on repeat.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Mark's coming out with some good stuff today, mate, boys. When you look at it, you just go, we don't really discuss it, do we? But yeah, stabilise. I get where you're coming from there, Mark.
And that's what he's done.
Yeah, he has.
And realistically, right?
Yeah. Fair play.
Grealish, every time he gets interviewed, Grealish, he always says the reason that he came to Everton because he wanted to play under David Moyes.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe that's a bit, I don't know, maybe that's just him saying what people want to hear or the manager wants to hear or whatever. Would Grealish have come to Everton if Sean Dyche was the manager? Not a chance in hell, mate.
No.
You're right. Yeah, hey, mate, boys, and the numbers going up there. Look at that.
Yeah, 15,000 already.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I tell you what, boys, our numbers have been struggling recently, but that's lovely to see that. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to see what magic he was going to do, the wizard.
Hey, mate, I've been making myself disappear the last 4 weeks.
You have.
So have I.
You've been
Apologies, everyone. Apologies. Yeah. See, the thing is, we all get like £2,000 off Ryan appearance money, but it's kind of like not enough. So I had to go out and just get a little bit of a private NHS job. So that's what I do, a little bit of private stuff on the side.
You He has to earn a shilling.
And the sleeve sponsorship of Follow Everton fell through, so we had to do extra to get ourselves back up.
Yeah. The what's the name, and the personal appearances are just not cutting it.
Yeah, and everyone's thinking like the wizard look. Yeah, I thought I'd go for the Nuno look at the moment, but in December I do the Santa. I do the Santa for charity, kids charity. So it's better than the glue on one. Me own one. There you go.
It sounds
But
like
you know,
you
when
need
I go
a
into
trip
town, boys,
to the
when I go
sun.
into town and walking down town, people are giving me £1. They got them selling the big issue. Not having it.
The only big issue is a fucking what's name, and the HD Stadium. We can't score goals.
Oh, wouldn't that? Well, Robster, if you were in town with a big issue, I guess you'd have about what 2 or 3 items. One would
Oh, I'd
be
be.
we need a striker, we need a right back, we need to be more progressive.
We're sick of talking about it, aren't we? A striker is like a swear word at Goodison, isn't it? Sorry, Hill Dickinson. It's like I can't offer any explanation. I really can't.
It's a thorn in our side, but we've got to find some way of Beto getting goals. If he's the striker he's going with, we have to find a way of integrating and finding opportunities for him to score goals.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Balls in the channel where he can not overthink it, strike early.
Today's the day.
That's option one. The other is a cross late in the match, and he basically turns his head from left to right, nods it in. Those seem to be his 2 avenues.
Where he's hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
We need full backs and we need pace. Absolutely nailed it there. Couldn't have said it better myself. We severely lack pace in our team. We haven't had it for years.
I think that's sort of the age-long thing, though. Like, what team doesn't need pacey wingers and pacey fullbacks, or a striker that can reliably score goals? That is the challenge to find these people. Unless you have the Alexander Isak level of finances to bring some of these guys in, you're either having a clear proven striker or a risk to
look at him at the moment. For
right?
125
sometimes
million.
even that doesn't work. So it's how do you manufacture opportunities either to fit your system, or that you have, or you adjust your system to the striker. And Beto at the moment, maybe it's just his lack of form. Maybe you say it's his lack of composure, but we know he can score, and it has to be through the channels primarily, or a cross right at the 6-yard box and a nod in. Seemed to be the way.
He nearly got it, didn't he, against Palace? And obviously, he could have. It was just a shame he didn't get it, but Grealish was there to bang it in, wasn't it? But
he doesn't get the credit, but he was part of that setup. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Gaspipe saying Pickford's not above criticism. I don't know where he's like. I don't see what Pickford's done to get any criticism. To be fair, but
I think that conversation, Wes, it's come because Lee Dixon's the summariser today, isn't he? So and he always he's always slagging Pickford off instead of just backing off. You know what I mean?
He turned around and said he should be playing for a Champions League team instead of signing another deal with Everton. Which, if his family's happy, if he's happy, why? Obviously, money's not an issue for him.
Yeah.
He'd like to probably win a cup with Everton at some point, maybe get into Europe with Everton. Do you know what I mean? So. I don't think that diminishes his expectations as a player by signing a new contract with Everton. He can see, a project that's developing over time. Whether he's still there in 4 years' time to see that come to fruition, who knows? But for ex-pros to be slagging him off, basically ripping the club, saying Everton's running really a small or mediocre team. Why are you signing there as you're the England number one?
Yeah, fair point.
He wasn't the England number one when he comes to Everton. He got it to be the England number one when he comes to Everton.
Do you know what, Chris? Wes could be his agent, couldn't he? I'm with you there, Wes.
Yeah,
but it's true, isn't it?
It is.
He's been
It
playing.
If
is.
you play for a team that doesn't have to make saves, then can you be a good keeper? The answer is still yes, but you may not be able to showcase your skills.
And 50,000 people should let him know that today and tell him to keep his gob shut.
Yeah, chin him. He's a mankim anyway, isn't he?
Is it? Yeah.
You said a mankum with an N in there. I was like, what's that?
He's a mank.
Mankim. Yeah, he's a mank.
I didn't think he's from Manchester. I thought he played for Sunderland.
Who, Lee Dixon?
No, I thought we were talking about Pickford there.
Oh, no, we're talking about Lee Dixon.
Oh, we swapped. Okay.
Been slagging our club off.
Slagging our club off, slagging our goalie off. So
we've got the global audience today, haven't we? And we've got to turn off, haven't we? Because we just might get steal another few supporters from around the world. Might we go, oh, I like them. I'll go and buy shit.
Yeah, we even got a Spurs fan in here, which was really nice to see.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. Yeah, and do you know what? What I liked? He was honest. He was honest, wasn't he?
Yeah, like I say, he was respectable as well. He didn't come in shouting the odds. Although I've seen a few Spurs fans this morning, and they shouted, put while my window down, went, "You're getting done today." And he went, "What?" And I went, "You're getting done today." And he went, "We'll see." I went, "Yeah, we will."
Oh, we had a deep voice, did he, mate?
Yeah, sounded a bit like Father Christmas, to be fair.
What was I going to say then? Just out of interest, we were talking about Ivan Toney before. I could see Tony. I could see Tony going back to London. I could see him going to Spurs, and I think we got more chance of getting Rishi on loan than Ivan Toney.
Possibly.
I think Emma brought that up, didn't she? Tony goes to Spurs, frees
Absolutely.
up Richarlison to Everton. I think that's more likely of the two.
I can see that happening.
I can see him going to Forest.
Who?
Ivan Toney.
Under Dyche. Interesting.
Yeah, I can see him going there because they just buy anybody anyway.
Yeah, I don't see him getting back in the England team if he went there, but
then somebody else brought something up before that because of the rules over there in Saudi, you have to, because this is the reason why Gerrard didn't take the Rangers job is because if he came back over here, he'd have to pay all his tax.
Same with Henderson.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
So you have to stay over there for a certain period of time before you can claim the tax-free wages.
Yeah.
So that's just something to think about, isn't it?
Well, it won't be January then.
No. But we need to do something.
Yeah, you're right. It's this won't continue unless Beto starts going bang, have it week after week after week after week, and we want it to happen. Will it happen? I'm not too sure. And if Barry's not ready, then we're back in the market for another striker in January, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think it's already been mentioned, something that not to expect a lot in January. So what we've got, we have to put up with. But I'd expect, the signings that we didn't make in this this summer transfer window, like a right back and with a decent striker rather than a project.
Mm-hmm.
We need to sort of fill that void, don't we?
Yeah.
We need a progressive left back and a progressive right back. To be fair, do you know what I mean? As well as Mikalenko's done, defensively wise, he's just not the all-round product.
Just out of interest,
he doesn't take on players or doesn't have the ability, so you never trust him.
Mikalenko,
what would Michael's value be if he flogged him?
Probably about, I'd say, between 8 and 10 mil.
Yeah, I was thinking slightly higher, but maybe 12 to 15. But yeah, that not huge levels. But a lot of clubs would say, you know what, he's Premier League proven. He can at least play a shutdown game against wingers. He's proven it against Salah. So there is a value to that. If you have other players that have the creative spark, then Mikalenko does the job for you.
Yeah. Tottenham's top scorers this season, by the way. Rishi's on 3, and we've got Ndiaye on 3. So there you go. There's our top scorers in today's game.
So Tazzel's
Cool, thank you.
in Saudi at the moment. We went to see Al Nassr game last Saturday. What an experience that was. Thoroughly enjoyed it and saw the GOAT Ronaldo miss a pen and score a worldie a minute later. Yeah, I read about that. It's got to be a bit warmer over there than here, hasn't it?
Yeah. It'll start testing people now with the winter at the Hill Dickinson. I think all them extra clothes are going to be warm, mate, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Not for us, though,
But
Rob.
there you go. We've got the OAPs. We've got the OAPs sitting at home, but I don't class Chris, our producer and director, in that. He's over in Oz, and we all know what kind of weather they get.
Yeah, I have a sock tan, which shows clearly I'm outside a little bit now, which is nice. After being in Arizona, where it was the coldest place on earth. Moved from one desert to another. 38 degrees in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh, was it? For
Slightly
Tazul.
warm.
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, 38 degrees.
Yeah.
I imagine that's Celsius, not Fahrenheit.
It's not far from that in our house, actually, because the dog's sitting by the fire, absolutely living his best life.
Have you got your heating on, Wes?
No, it's not for me. It's for the dog.
No, I've got the heating on here, mate. Got the central heating on, and the wife came in before. I've prepared all the roast dinner, so the roasties had just gone on. So there you go. We've got 13 minutes to kick off. Everton against Spurs, live at the Hill Dickinson Stadium with a global audience. Please turn up.
Listen, them Father Christmas appearances must be paying you a fortune if you've got the eating on already, mate.
Yeah, I've done a special deal this year. Yeah, done a special deal this year with Octopus.
The miracle of Christmas / Halloween.
Yeah, and the beer's coming off Christmas Eve. So there you go. So, boys, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's all covered. All them followers out there globally, we have, as well as the Blues being going global today, Chris, the Robster, and Wes, we've gone global around the world with all those people watching us.
100%.
Yep, we have Liverpool, we have Wes's Jamaican pop-up stand, and we have.
I've got me private jet on standby.
Well, Wes, you're not in Prague this week.
No. The thing is, Robbie's doing Father Christmas appearances. Father Christmas lookalike. I'm doing Gollum.
Gollum.
Oh, it's good to have a laugh at it. Hey, it's you know what? It's good to laugh. It's good to smile. Because if you don't, when you never show you cry.
You do.
We need an AI-generated photo of Gollum with an Everton shirt on. So those in the chat get to it. All right.
It can be done. So, do you want to finish it off, Chris? I can't see me buttons here at the moment. I've got tears in my eyes from all this good humour.
Oh, well, that's great to hear. And you guys have covered your predictions. I said a 2-2 Desmond. Robster, you said a 1. Your reverse psychology of a 1-0 win after your first ever experience. Okay, 1-2. And Wes, what did you have?
I'm going for a 2-0 for Everton.
Yeah, and I think this could easily be a match that goes down to the wire. Home field advantage. We did it against Palace. I see that again today. For those that are streaming in, thank you. And what we're likely to do, it'll definitely be me, and we're trying to figure out who's going to be else with me on post-match. But stay tuned for all the reactions, and hopefully they're mostly positive. And maybe we'll have some people come out from the ground as well to give some content. But again, thanks again. And
might actually get the channel owner might actually come on and actually do it. Say a few words. I know he's rarer than rocking or shite, but you might see him.
Well, the truth is, when you've got a new kid and everything else, it can definitely be taxing. So that's always a component to consider.
Never mind all that, right? That new kid is being babysitted.
The children are second. Football!
No, that new kid's being babysitters. And him and Jazz are at the games today. Don't you worry about that.
Well, what we'll probably see is him then come in live. He'll probably be telling us all about the difficulty of getting out of the stadium quickly.
Let's just hope, boys. Let's just hope he's not having a rant at the end, because that means it's not been a good result.
Well, we could win 2-0 and he could rant. That's part of it. He's at a wedding today. Okay.
Yeah, there's us fighting them.
And you know what? Ryan appreciates the production quality of Wez's backdrop.
Yeah,
you like that.
Love you all, Blues. Love you all. Yeah. Remember, reverse psychology. Go for the loss, because we're going to win.
Yeah. Up the Toffees.
Up the Toffees.
Up the Toffees.